Her text arrived just after sunset, timed carefully to sound normal. I'm staying at a friend's place for a week. No explanation. No context. No concern for how it would land. The house was quiet. As always, the kind of quiet that isn't peaceful, just hollow. For months now, things had shifted. Fewer shared meals. Fewer glances that meant anything. She'd been pulling away, thread by thread, and I had been holding the frayed ends, pretending the fabric could be repaired. I stared at the message. The screen dimmed, then brightened again when I tapped it, as if my phone was waiting for a response I already knew I wouldn't send. There was no mention of whose friend. No love you. No sorry. It wasn't just the text. It was the lack of effort to lie anymore that told me everything. I placed the phone face down on the table, beside a dinner plate I'd set for two out of habit. The candle I'd lit was still burning, though I no longer remembered why I'd lit it in the first place. I ate alone, slowly, one bite at a time. Not bitter, not broken, just aware. Aware of how silence, when you finally lean into it, becomes less of a void and more of a mirror. After dinner, I rinsed the dishes, wiped the counter, and turned off the lights in the living room. The house responded like it always did, obedient and indifferent. I didn't text back. Not because I was unsure of what to say, but because I had nothing left to say instead. I sat down at the desk in the corner of the bedroom, the one she used to complain about being too cold in winter, and opened a folder I hadn't touched in a year. Bank records, pay stubs, property documents. It wasn't anger that made me do it. It was clarity. For so long, I'd been holding my breath inside a relationship that had already exhaled me. This was an abandonment that had already happened. The text was just the confirmation. I slept deeply that night. Not because I was at peace, but because I wasn't pretending anymore. I didn't wonder where she was. I didn't check her social media. I didn't pace the floor trying to find meaning in something already stripped of it. I just accepted the role I'd been given. Not the partner. Not the priority. Just the placeholder. She'd quietly stepped around. By morning, I'd made one small change. I moved her toothbrush into the guest bathroom. Not out of pettiness, just to make space. Space is what she asked for. Space is what she'll get, and silence will be my reply. 2 days. That's how long it took for her silence to feel rehearsed. Not an oversight. Not forgetfulness, just absence, polished and intentional. There was no follow-up. No "are you okay?" No attempt to explain, soften, or even maintain the illusion of care. It confirmed what I already understood. When someone can go days without checking in, it means they've practiced life without you long before you noticed. I didn't wait by the phone. I didn't reread the text. Instead, I opened my laptop and began downloading every monthly bank statement from the past 2 years. Emails, transfers, joint expenses. Her name was still tied to every account that mattered, but my trust wasn't. I didn't scroll through for scandal. I wasn't hunting for cheating or betrayal. I was just preparing for the clean break she'd already started. That morning, I scheduled an appointment with a divorce attorney. Not one of those aggressive billboard types, just someone calm and methodical. A man named Callum Bishop. His office was in an old brick building downtown, and he wore a navy sweater over a white collared shirt like he was going to teach a literature class. Instead of unravel a marriage, he didn't ask for details. He asked for facts. And for the first time in months, I had them. I told him she left a text. He nodded like that was more common than people thought. He asked if I wanted to send her the papers at home. I shook my head. She protects her image at work. I said, send them there. He looked up briefly. That's a strong message. I nodded. It's not revenge. It's the only place she still pays attention. The next morning, the papers were sent registered courier, hand delivery, signature required. Not to humiliate her, but to make sure it landed where her attention lived now, in appearances. Then I went home, made coffee, and swept the patio. It was just another Wednesday. Except this one belonged to me. The phone didn't ring. Not yet. But somewhere, a receptionist was handing her an envelope with my name on it. And I knew the moment she opened it, everything she'd been delaying, avoiding, and skating past would become real. I didn't feel powerful. I didn't feel vindicated. I felt precise. She once said I was too quiet when things got hard, that I never raised my voice. She was right. But she never understood that silence isn't confusion, it's a decision. And I had finally made mine. I didn't warn her. I didn't threaten her. I just acted. And in doing so, I reclaimed the one thing she thought I'd forgotten: how to use my exit. The house was still. You could hear the hum of the fridge, the click of the thermostat. And then the first ring. I glanced at the screen. Her name. Ignored it. Second call. Then a third. By the 10th. I silenced the phone and left it face down. By the 20th. I moved it to the hallway table like you would an annoying alarm clock you can't turn off. By the 50th. I turned it off completely. No voicemails. No apology typed out in a long message. Just frantic missed calls, back to back, like she was trying to reverse gravity with her thumb. I made tea. She was silent for months, emotionally absent, cold, passive-aggressive. Now, when the narrative starts slipping out of her hands, she wants to talk. Too late. That night, I took a walk around the block, cold air in my lungs, street lamps flickering above the empty sidewalk. It felt honest out there. No performance, no emotional games. When I returned home, the phone was right where I left it. Still. Quiet. The next morning, I powered it on. A flood of messages poured in. Please don't do this. Can we just talk first? You're overreacting. This isn't fair. You blindsided me at work. I didn't mean for this to happen like this. Please. Please answer me. I didn't. Regret isn't love. And panic isn't repentance. She wasn't trying to fix what she broke. She was trying to control the fallout. She wanted to get ahead of the story, shape it before it reached her colleagues, her image, her friends. She wanted damage control. I wanted peace. To very different things. I didn't reply. Not even once. Not when she texted again the next day, apologizing for everything. Not when she called at midnight and left a voicemail crying softly into silence. I had no anger left. Just clarity. She had already walked out emotionally, spiritually, and mentally long before I made it legal. All I did was make it visible. She once said I didn't fight hard enough. Maybe she was right, but the truth is I was done fighting for someone who already let go of the rope. That day, I deleted her number. Not out of spite, out of necessity. It was time to stop giving space to echoes.